Night fell over San Ravan City like a curtain of black oil, thick and heavy, swallowing the skyline until the skyscrapers looked like jagged teeth ripping through the darkness. Storm clouds gathered, thunder crawling across the sky like something alive. People hurried into the safety of their homes, unaware that something ancient and hungry had already entered their world. Far outside the city limits, in a restricted forest facility owned by the shadowy Atlas Corporation, alarms began to scream. Red lights pulsed like a heartbeat through the corridors as scientists ran in panic. Glass shattered, metal twisted. Something was loose. Something the world was never meant to see. Deep inside Lab Wing 9, where creatures extracted from fallen meteorites were stored, a containment pod lay cracked open. Thick, black liquid pulsed inside like a living shadow. It climbed the walls, whipped across the ceiling, then dropped to the floor in a mass of shifting tendrils. It had no face, no bones, no shape. But it had hunger, and it needed a host. Far from the chaos, the forest rustled with the sounds of night. A golden-maned lion moved silently through the tall grass, its massive paws sinking into the soil without a sound. His name was Kale, known by tribes as the Silent King, the last of a bloodline said to have protected the land for centuries. His mane caught the moonlight, glowing faintly with warm amber tones. He walked with the calm confidence of a creature who feared nothing under heaven. But tonight something felt wrong. Kyle stopped near a cliffside overlooking the city in the distance. The wind carried the metallic smell of tension, as if the world itself was holding its breath. His ears twitched. His muscles tightened. He heard something. Not with his ears, but with a deeper sense that had kept him alive all these years. A whisper, a vibration, a presence. A sudden explosion shattered the night. Flames burst through the treetops as the Atlas facility erupted. Birds scattered. Smoke curled high into the sky. Kyle roared, the sound echoing across the valley like a warning to whatever dared disturb his territory. Inside the burning ruins, the black organism surged through shadows, moving with unnatural speed. It sensed something powerful nearby, something worthy. It slithered into the forest, stretching into long tendrils, tasting the air, searching, hunting. While patrol helicopters rushed toward the scene, Kyle descended from the cliff. His instincts urged him forward, not out of curiosity, but out of duty. Something had escaped. Something that did not belong to nature. And it was near. Minutes later, Kyle reached the shattered perimeter fence of the Atlas complex. Fire crackled from inside. Helicopter blades chopped the air overhead as armed guards sprinted between burning labs. Kale crouched low, hidden within the smoke and trees. The humans didn't notice him. They were too busy running, shouting, firing weapons. At something they couldn't see, a scientist stumbled out of the flames, coughing violently. "It's gone!" he shouted. "The symbiote is gone. It's hunting for a host." A guard grabbed him. "What does it look like?" "It looks like..." The scientist didn't finish. A black tentacle whipped out of the darkness, snatching him into the trees. His scream faded instantly. The guards panicked and opened fire toward the forest. Kale braced himself. He had faced poachers, rival predators, and thunderous storms, but he had never felt the forest itself recoil in fear. The symbiote slid across branches like liquid midnight, reflecting no light. It smelled life below. It smelled strength. It smelled power. It smelled him. Kale turned sharply as the darkness above him shifted. Two white, shapeless eyes began forming in the black mass, like paint swirling into a monstrous face. A mouth stretched unnaturally wide, dripping with venomous slime. The creature hissed, not in fear, in delight. Kale roared back, asserting dominance. The ground vibrated beneath his paws, trees trembled, birds fled. The symbiote dropped from the branch, slamming onto him like a wave. It wrapped around his legs, chest and neck, squeezing with shocking force. Kyle thrashed wildly, muscles bulging, claws ripping bark from trees as he fought against the black mass. But the creature was not trying to kill him. It was trying to bond. Kyle felt the darkness pushing into his skin, threading into his veins, reaching into his mind. His vision blurred, his body convulsed. His mane burned with cold fire as the symbiote seeped into every cell. And then came the voice, deep, alien, powerful. "We choose you." Kale roared in agony as the black matter consumed him. His golden fur turned obsidian black. His muscles expanded, veins glowing blue beneath the surface. His teeth elongated, sharper than steel. His eyes transformed into massive, white, monstrous shapes that glowed with predatory hunger. The transformation shook the forest. Grass flattened in waves, trees cracked, animals fled for miles. When the roaring stopped, a new creature stood where Kyle once stood, a fusion of lion and nightmare. A monstrous black lion, body covered in shifting symbiote armor, dripping tendrils that moved like living creatures. His mane wriggled like dark flames. His jaw could unhinge far wider than natural, lined with hundreds of razor teeth. But his heart still beat with the soul of Kyle. A king trapped inside a monster. The symbiote spoke again, its voice rumbling inside his mind. "Together as we are Venom." Kale tried to resist. His consciousness pushed back, growling like a trapped beast. "I am king of this land. You cannot control me." The symbiote laughed, a cold, echoing sound. "We do not wish to control. We wish to conquer with you." Kyle charged forward instinctively, smashing through a fallen tree as if it were twigs. His speed doubled, his strength tripled. The guards spotted him. "What is that?" one shouted. Kale, or whatever he had become, stepped from the shadows. His giant glowing white eyes narrowed. His tongue slithered out, unnaturally long and dripping black venom onto the ground. The guards froze. Then Venom Lion roared, not like a lion, not like a monster, but like both. The earth shook. The guards ran in terror. Kyle sprinted past them, faster than their eyes could track, leaping through fire and smoke. He felt power he had never dreamed of. The symbiote guided him, enhancing him, whispering dark possibilities. "City ahead, weak, unprotected, full of prey." Kale growled, refusing. "No, I protect this land, I protect life." The symbiote hissed, displeased. "Then we protect, through domination." The battle for control had begun, inside one body, between one Lion King, and one alien predator. And the city of San Ravon had no idea that its greatest threat and its greatest protector was heading straight toward it. The city of San Ravon slept under a blanket of darkness, unaware that something monstrous was racing toward it. Streetlights flickered, neon signs buzzed, cars drifted along quiet streets, their drivers lost in routine, not knowing that fate had already shifted. In the distance, a thunderous roar tore through the night. Windows shook, dogs barked. People stirred from their sleep, confused, unsettled by a sound that didn't belong to any known creature. Kale, the Venom Lion, bounded across the open plains leading to the city, each leap covering 20 yards with terrifying ease. The symbiote crawled across his body in black streaks, reshaping, strengthening, expanding. Muscles tensed beneath shifting armor that glistened like wet obsidian. He felt the hum of life ahead. The city pulsed like a massive heart, every heartbeat a signal, every movement a scent. The symbiote's voice oozed through his mind, seductive and commanding. So much life, so much chaos, all ripe for consumption or salvation. Kyle snarled, "We are not hunters of the innocent." The symbiote coiled around his consciousness like a serpent. "Then we will hunt the guilty. But we cannot tell the difference if you resist." Kyle roared, forcing a momentary flare of golden light through the black armor, cracks of warm radiance pushing out from his chest. The symbiote hissed angrily as if burned. "You are strong, but not stronger than us." Kyle didn't respond. He propelled himself forward, sprinting toward the first row of industrial buildings at the city's border. His claws dug deep into asphalt as he slowed near a silent warehouse district. But he wasn't alone. Across the street, 4 men stood beside 2 trucks, hurriedly moving steel crates inside the warehouse. Their voices were low, urgent. "This is the biggest shipment Atlas Corporation ever asked for," one man said. "We move fast, Get paid and get out before dawn. Kale crouched behind a rusted container, watching with predator stillness. He didn't know who these men were, but he felt their energy. Nervous, greedy, dangerous. The symbiote's tendrils wriggled excitedly. Criminals, easy prey. Kale felt something else, something darker inside the warehouse. He sniffed the air, chemicals, blood, fear. A hostage. Kyle took one slow step forward. A symbiote tendril slid across his face like a whisper. "Let us handle this." Kyle ignored it. Inside the warehouse, a woman sat tied to a chair, bruised and trembling. A corporate ID badge hung from her torn coat. Dr. Alina Cross, senior biologist for Atlas Corporation. The same corporation that created the nightmare inside him. The criminals argued nearby, unaware of the monster moving closer. "We should just get rid of her," one said. "If she talks..." "She won't talk," another growled. "We're getting paid triple to make sure of that." Kyle's eyes widened, a growl built in his chest. But this time it wasn't his growl, it was theirs. Venom. A tendril shot forward before Kale could stop it. He slashed through the warehouse wall like it was paper, black claws glowing with eerie blue energy. Splinters exploded inward, metal crumpled like foil. The men froze. "What the? Who's there?" Kyle stepped into the flickering light of the warehouse. A massive monstrous lion covered in shifting black armor, white eyes glowing like moons. Saliva dripping black venom onto the floor, burning holes through steel. The criminals stumbled back, screaming, "Shoot it! Shoot it!" Bullets tore into Kyle's side, but the symbiote caught them mid-air, turning the metal into liquid and absorbing it. His body rippled with power. The symbiote laughed. "Tiny weapons cannot hurt us." Kale lunged. One man was crushed instantly beneath his paw, thrown like a rag doll into the crates. Another fired wildly, but Kyle appeared behind him with impossible speed, fangs piercing his shoulder. Kyle roared, shaking the man like prey, but he stopped himself, barely, dropping the man before the symbiote could finish him. "No killing the helpless," Kyle thought fiercely. The symbiote hissed. "You are wasting food." Kyle turned away, heading toward the hostage. The last criminal panicked. He grabbed Dr. Alina Cross and put a gun to her head. "Stay back, I'll kill her." Kyle froze. The symbiote didn't. A huge black tendril exploded from Kale's shoulder, wrapping around the man's arm, snapping bone like dry wood. The gun clattered to the ground. The criminal screamed as he was lifted into the air, dangling helplessly. Kyle roared at the symbiote. "Stop!" The tendril dropped the man, slamming him into the concrete, but not killing him. A compromise. Dr. Alina stared at the massive black lion inches from her face. She trembled, expecting death. Instead, Kyle lowered his head and gently sliced the ropes binding her with a single careful claw. She gasped. You saved me," she whispered. Kale's eyes flickered, monstrous white turning briefly golden. Then the symbiote surged again. "She knows Atlas secrets. She knows about us." Kyle growled. "She is innocent." The symbiote slithered across his mind, dripping with malice. Everyone is dangerous, everyone is prey. Kyle resisted, shaking violently as his monstrous form twisted. His mane flared with black tendrils, his jaw unhinged, rows of teeth trembling with the creature's hunger. Dr. Alina backed away, terrified. "Please, don't..." Kyle slammed his eyes shut. "Not her." The warehouse shook as a shockwave burst from his body, golden light tearing through the symbiote's control for a brief, painful second. The symbiote screamed inside his mind. "Stop fighting us." Kale roared louder, and then the city sirens wailed. Police cars screeched to a halt outside. Armed officers poured from vehicles, taking positions, guns raised. "Freeze!" one shouted. "Don't move!" Kale turned toward the entrance, white monstrous eyes glowing in the dark. Dr. Alina gasped. "No, wait, don't shoot. He saved me! He saved me!" But it was too late. A sniper fired. The bullet slammed directly into Kale's eye. He staggered, not from pain, from rage. The symbiote surged, exploding outward in a storm of black tendrils that shattered windows and crushed the metal doorframe. Kyle roared, a sound so powerful the air warped, and the voice inside him whispered with pleasure. "Now, let us show them fear." Black tendrils crawled across Kyle's body, transforming him into something even more monstrous than before. Something unstoppable, something vengeful, Raven City had just declared war on the Lion of Venom, and Venom was ready to answer. Police bullets rained across the warehouse yard as Kyle burst through the wall, symbiote tendrils whipping like black lightning. Sirens wailed. Officers dove for cover. Kyle's massive form crashed onto the pavement, glowing white eyes narrowing with predatory fury. The symbiote hissed inside him. They shot us, they attacked us, we answer. Kyle roared, but forced his claws into the ground, stopping himself inches before he could pounce on the nearest officer. The struggle inside him twisted his body, muscles spasming, black armor rippling violently.
Stop! They are only afraid!
The symbiote snarled. They should be. It surged forward, trying to take full control. Kyle slammed his head against the concrete, resisting, tendrils snapping wildly. Police watched in stunned horror, unsure if the creature was dying or transforming again.
Dr. Alina ran outside, shouting,
"Stop shooting! He's trying to control it!" But the police fired again. A bullet struck Kyle's shoulder. That was enough. Venom Lion erupted. He leapt onto a patrol car, crushing it flat. Tendrils lashed out, flipping vehicles like toys. Officers scattered. Kyle roared, but inside the roar was a cry, not of rage, but of desperation. "I won't kill them!" the symbiote's voice boomed. "Then we will!" Kyle collapsed as the internal war reached its breaking point. His golden light flared violently, ripping through the black symbiote like burning chains. He rolled onto his side, claws tearing at his own armor, trying to separate himself from Venom. Dr. Alina rushed forward despite the danger. "Kale, fight it! You are stronger!" Her voice pierced through the chaos like a spark of sanity. The symbiote lunged toward her, forming a monstrous wolf-like face from Kale's back. "We will devour her first." Kale's eyes widened. His roar split the air. "No!" With a final surge, he slammed himself into a concrete barrier, using the impact to weaken the symbiote's grip. Golden energy exploded outward. The black mass screeched, peeling back from his body.
For one brief moment,
Kyle stood as himself again, golden-maned, glowing-eyed, majestic, breathing hard. The symbiote reformed behind him in a towering, monstrous shape, detached from his body, dripping with hate. "We chose you, and you reject us?" Kyle stood tall. "I protect life, not destroy it." The venom creature lunged. Kyle met it head-on. Lion and monster collided with a thunderous crack, shockwaves ripping across the street. Kyle's claws burned with golden light as he slashed through tendrils. The symbiote's fangs tore into Kyle's side. Blood splashed. Sparks flew. The ground trembled under their ferocity. Dr. Alina grabbed a canister from a fallen crate, liquid nitrogen, meant for symbiote containment. "Kyle, move!" Kyle obeyed instinctively. Dr. Alina hurled the canister at the symbiote and fired her pistol. The container exploded in a burst of freezing vapor, engulfing the venom creature. It shrieked, tendrils freezing solid midair, cracking apart. Kyle summoned the last of his strength. He roared and leapt through the mist, shattering the frozen symbiote into thousands of pieces. Silence fell. Black shards melted into harmless puddles. Kale collapsed, exhausted, bleeding, half covered in fading black residue. Dr. Alina knelt beside him. "You saved them, even when they feared you." Kyle looked toward the city, then at the melted remains of the symbiote. A faint golden glow pulsed within his chest. "It is my duty." Police cautiously approached, weapons lowered. No one dared get too close. Kyle rose slowly, wounded but unbroken. He turned toward the forest, toward freedom, toward peace. Dr. Alina whispered to the officers, "Remember this night. The monster wasn't the lion." Kyle disappeared into the shadows of the trees, the moon catching the faint gold in his mane as he vanished. But deep in the darkness behind him, a single drop of black liquid pulsed and crawled away. Still alive, still searching, still hungry.